Everyone, today is October 3rd and it was Friday, and we have 10,828.65 in our portfolio. Today I had taken two trades. The first one was on Meta, and we got fried. We lost the $149. It was pretty easy too. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm starting to learn my mistakes. So I think I got in around here for some sort of call because I saw like price could go up, but like I just denied this entire bearish engulfing candle and trying to do calls in something that's obviously going to go down. That is completely my fault, and I'm starting to understand not to trade against the trend. I'm now seeing it play out in my face. Rather, you're in the middle of the trend and you have a stop loss that's, $100 down. And I even changed my stop loss. It was at $100. I said, you know what, it's Meta, so you gotta give it some space to run. But the entry was completely terrible because, yeah, it would been better that I lost $100 instead. But after that, I went and placed another trade. After I realized that, I placed another trade. This trade was kind of in the same concept, not really, but it was on Coinbase, and I had traded a put. I made $150 here, and I believe it was this right here. It showed up as a big bearish engulfing candle. I probably got in at 375, and I wrote it down to like 371.65. So I caught that downtrend right there. But even in a play like this, I still think it was smarter to probably think of calls because of the sentiment behind what was happening today with Bitcoin and all that. So I'm trying to understand the game a little bit more. Navitas Semiconductor, I sold shares. I don't know how to show how much I made. Oh, okay, so $38. Okay. And I sold OKLL shares. Let's see, how much did I make from that? $26. And also, I reduced my positions in Webull. So I had 10 contracts of Webull. I sold them at half of them at a loss of $255. Why did I do this? Because I feel like I'm way too leveraged in something like Webull. Like it's playing with my account. You see how it goes up, it goes down, it goes up and goes down. I said, okay, I'm gonna sell 5 contracts and just let my account not be so volatile all the time. If it's volatile, I want it to be volatile to the upside, not the downside. All right, so I'm trying to manage this a little bit better. Uber, I don't know. Uber was going up and down today. But our price target for Uber is 100 for sure. And they even have higher price targets of 125. They lowered the 127 to a 125. That's so interesting. Like, what is Wells Fargo seeing that others aren't? And the next one that I did was watch basically Palantir. Let me show you guys. I'm looking at Palantir. I sold a lot of my shares today because of the movements that I was looking at in the market. It looked like something, I don't know, it was more like just an instinctual feeling. Once I saw Palantir going down, Nvidia, the SPY, I'm like, this seems like they could crash us, like the government shutdown, all these different things happening, people lowering price targets. Look at Palantir. Look at the news, guys, on Palantir. Palantir shares fall over 5% Friday on Army security flaw support, then recovers slightly after company denial. That is very important. That's a very important piece of news. A very high-risk security flaw in the NGC2 battlefield communication system developed by Palantir and Andor. That is, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a big deal. It's a big deal, but it's not a big deal as to even, I think, lower the price target of Palantir yet, especially because this is an issue that Palantir and Andor are working on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, after this news comes out, like, they're immediately, but they're going to use this, I think, as a catalyst to bring the stock down even lower than it is right now. But there's still a lot of people that want to buy it, which is why after it got here, it went up. But I suspect that they might drop Palantir like below this 170, probably to 160. You know, if we look at, hopefully this chart shows up. If we look at the 1 month, we've had lows of 128, 160. You see this level right here where we dropped down to like 171, 172, and then we bounced off of it, off of this level, this pre-existing level. This happened today. I suspect that they'll try to push it down farther, probably to the 160s, and that's probably when I would get in for a swing trade. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I have to see what happens over the weekend, on Monday, with all these different things. Also, I'm gonna watch crypto and see what happens with it as well. If Bitcoin goes up, if Bitcoin goes down, I will see what happens with it. Bitmine, also the company that has the most Ethereum, that's going to be very interesting. I want to see this one drop below 50, even to a 45 or 40 would be terrific. And I'll scoop up some shares of that. OKLO, I would hope for the same thing. I'm looking for pullbacks, because I don't think we're going to run yet. Apparently September was good, a good month. Historically, it's a bad month, but we had a good September month. Maybe there's a delay in like the crash of the stocks that could potentially happen in early October, guys. So probably want to kind of be on the lookout, not be too invested. I'm trying to keep something on the side a little bit, and if I am invested, they're long-term contracts like the ones I have for, like, all of these are for 2026, 2027, all of my contracts. Yeah, they're all swings. So I'd say let's just watch and see what happens, guys. Let's watch and see what happens. Even Lulu, I'm watching Lulu as well to see what happens with it. And but other than that, I'll say have a good one, guys. It is Friday, so Monday we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna try and make some money. We're gonna try to make smart trades. We're gonna kind of try and be patient and see what's happening in the market, see what's happening in the overall market, check the SPY, and not be too rushed for any entries, and also probably not try to go against the trend. I trade like reversals, like so. But at the same time, I see how I've not been being patient with those reversals, especially in these markets these days. Like, I don't necessarily wait for a close of the engulfing candle. I have like a very aggressive entry. I just try to get in. But like sometimes I think I gotta be a little bit more patient and wait to see if my thesis plays out. But I think some stocks are easier to trade than others. Like, apparently Coinbase, it's like it moves with Bitcoin. So it's like if Bitcoin was at 110,000 on Monday, down 10,000 from where it is right now, Strategy and Coinbase are going to the absolute dirt. Like 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 Coinbase is at what, like right now, like 380s. Let me check. 378. So that's around 380. If Bitcoin dropped 10 to 12,000 to 110,000, best believe Coinbase is on its way back to its 300. It's on its way, head first. And I should take puts instead of calls, because it's gonna just keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, 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 down. So I'm trying to understand these certain volatilities, because they're going to happen a lot in the future, especially with crypto. It's very volatile as well. So like it can be up 3,000 in a day, and it's like sometimes I don't think about it that way, as it being so volatile because the number is so big. But at a point in time, the number was not as big, and then it just completely ran up in all of our faces. Like during Trump's presidency, that's when it started running up in our faces. Crazy. I was like, oh my god, this thing is actually very, very volatile. So, but we can use that to our advantage, especially in stocks that are crypto backed, that are heavily invested in crypto. So something like a BMNR, if I would see Bitcoin go down to a certain level, and then also the altcoins go along with it, Ethereum, Solana, all these different coins, why not take a swing trade on BMNR? When a BMNR falls to a 40, a 45, we can take a swing trade and ride it up to where we think it's gonna go 50, 55, and make some money off that. So I'm still in the process. I'm thinking of even kind of focusing more on having long-term like swing trades, and take profits off the swing trades, because it seems like they're a little bit easier to weather the storm compared to a day trade. You know what I'm saying? But I still want to be good at both of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because something like an Uber going to 100 is going to make us how much? Let's just simulate it really quickly. To 100, Uber goes to 100, and we make $158, right? Good chance that we're going to make this $158, guys, because Uber has hit 100, and it's going to try to hit it again. It's going to try and go further than that, because of the price targets that are on it. The median price target of it is 110. But what are the hedge funds and things going to probably try and do? Beat it down until they get it to a point they like it, and then throughout the end of the year, let it run up. Just let it run up. Out of nowhere, it will just run up. That's always how it's been with stocks. Like it's at this point, it's like clockwork, to be honest. But sometimes, especially with me, I notice that I'm just very impatient. But that impatience is costing me, because there's times where I could have just made money and saved it, and I've been Gucci, stack it and continue to stack, but I've just given it back through impulsiveness and being impatient. So I'm trying to take it a little slow. So I have these long dated contracts, but I'm still gonna day trade, so I can try and perfect that skill as well. Because let's say you have a higher amount of a larger amount of money you can trade with it in a day. When you see certain moves, you know, something runs up $20 and you can catch a $10 or $15 in that run up, that's insane. If you have 10 contracts, you have 100,000 in your account, you can buy 10 contracts. You know what I'm saying? You can lose $1,000, but the upside is pretty ridiculous. The upside is like that's a 1 out of 5,000. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 loss, but you could make 5,000 in this trade. So like that's a big difference. So that's also why I want to